Hey guys, how's it going? My name's The Breath, and welcome to another challenge video. Today I'm asking a question on behalf of a very good friend of mine, Sam Dunning. Can you beat Pokemon Soul Silver with only a Bidoof? Before we begin, I'd like to apologise for this video being a day later than planned. I've had some personal family news and whatnot that's somewhat impacted my ability to get this video out. So I figured delaying a day would be the best thing to do, but make no mistake, next week's video will arrive on the Friday, unless any more shit goes down. But right, that's done. Now, about this challenge. I can see this being a horrible one. Bidoof is horrible, with horrible stats and a horrible level up moveset. It does get access to some pretty decent TMs, but Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, etc., they're only available in the post game. And, well, that just doesn't really help us, does it? I know Thunder and Blizzard are available earlier, but I'm generally not a fan of the lower accuracy moves. You know, Bidoof can just do one as a Pokemon. At least its evolution serves a purpose, even if it is destined to only be a HM slave. Anyway, enough about this, and on to the rules. As usual, I can only use Bidoof in battle. I'll need a selection of other Pokemon throughout the game, because silly me forgot to turn on HM compatibility. Items are banned in battle, except for held items, and TM usage is fine for this run. Right, I think that's all the preliminary stuff. Let's begin the torture. We begin the game and choose the female character, naming ourselves something that nobody ever saw coming. The inventive name of Breath. We choose our Bidoof, naming him Woodlover, because he's a beaver, and, well, he just loves munching on some big, firm, slippery logs now, doesn't he? The first step is to Mr. Pokemon, where we get an egg from one old man and an encyclopedia from another. We head back towards the lab, getting stopped on the way by a red-headed Welshman who we can identify as being called Sam. From there, we embark on our adventure, starting off at Violet City's gym, Faulkner. Having recently played the original Johto games, I'll give credit to Game Freak. They really did increase the difficulty for the remakes. The first attempt at Faulkner, and we lose to an unlucky critical. No biggie, we go again and get the win. One badge down, only 15 more to go. After the whole debacle surrounding the Slowpoke, well, we get the pleasure to fight Bugsy. Given that we learned the move Rollout earlier on and Bug-type is weak to Rock-type, we kinda blitz him. Our Bidoof loves wood, if you can't tell by his name, so the Farfetch puzzle took a lot longer than planned because I had to stop him deep-throating every bloody stick in the gaff like it's a Friday night in Soho. Anyway, out of that mess, we do the quiz doohickey and head in to fight Whitney. She actually caused me a fair few issues. Clefairy has Cute Charm as its ability, and it got us caught a few times. Who knew that a female Clefairy would infatuate a Woodlover so well? Regardless, we troll Miltank by using Rollout, and that's the third badge down. In Lineage, the next badge to take on is Morty, if we can get there. On the route up there is a double battle, and my lazy ass can't be bothered to investigate whether or not there's a way around it. Call me brutish, but I'd much rather plough straight through it. At this point, I considered closing the channel down and going to drink myself into a coma, but I'm too stubborn to walk to the local shop and buy the drink needed at this point. 2 levels later, we managed to get through it and make our way towards the gym. Unfortunately, we've hit a bit of a roadblock. I have to beat Morty, I have to beat Sam in the Burnt Tower, and with my current level and moveset, we can't do either. Morty's just miles too strong and will get taken down before we even get anywhere. And Sam has a Magnemite that we can hardly touch. I need more levels or I need new moves. Luckily we do have one saving grace. At level 41, Bidoof learns Superpower, a devastating move capable of ending fights easily, with the downside being a drop to our already pitifully weak attack and defense stats. So, my little beaver and I head off in search of more wood for him to love. Failing that, we just defeat every trainer available to us at this point and grind a short amount to that level where we take on Sam. It still takes us a few tries, but with good luck we get through. From there we make our way through to Morty, roll in, fight, and roll out the door. There's really not much to say here because it's literally all we can do to hurt it. I guess the only thing of note is that we managed to win on an attempt where we avoid getting hit with curse, but that's not really relevant information if you ask me. From there I decide the next best thing is to head to Olivine City to tackle the Lighthouse mini quest. We make our way over to Cianwood, do a dodgy deal with a guy and collect a suspicious looking package to deliver to Ampharos. But that stubborn side sort of came out again and I decided that I couldn't be arsed to surf back here, so we have to fight Chuck. And it's gonna be a problem. Chuck is a fighting type user. We're a normal type user. Here's a little quiz for you. Take a guess at how this goes for us. A. Really well. B. Not so well, but we make it through barely. Or C. So badly I gave up on life, walked to the shop, bought a bottle of vodka and started swigging straight from the glass. If you answered C, or even thought C was a pretty good sounding option, congratulations, you're experiencing the depressing life that is my existence. Look, I'll just cut a long story short here. We fail, time after time after time. I do a little grind, and at level 48, we get a lucky attempt and win. Thank God. Part of me suspects that the grinding is... well, it's only just beginning. Flying back to Olivine, we give the drugs to the animal and get access to Jasmine's Steel-type gym. Easy enough with a powerful fighting type move at our disposal, right? Well, if you believe that, then you clearly haven't been paying attention to any of the Breath's challenges. We're too weak. One Iron Tail from Steelix is enough to one-shot us from full health, with or without the drop in defense from Superpower. Crying on the inside and it leaking through to the outside, I decide to walk away, for now. We head up to Mahogany Town, catch the Red Gyarados, and speak to Lance, who tells us to help him investigate something strange. We head back down to Mahogany Town and into the house, where we mindlessly look over Lance telling his Dragonite to literally murder some poor bastard. Hyper Beam, a move so powerful that the Pokemon needs a rest day after using it, against a guy that took it so hard he hit the back wall. Damn Lance, chill out, have a cup of tea already. A whole bunch of stuff goes on down there, unspeakable things involving Woodlover and some giant electric balls. I'll let your imagination run from there. Outside, we head into Price's gym. At this point, we're level 58 odd, and well, for once, we've actually made things easy on ourselves. Leaving that behind, the only gym standing in our way is Jasmine. We're so over-leveled for this, it's fine, surely. But the curse of the Breath Challenge strikes again, and Bidoof, well, he's about as useless as his stats make him look. Level 58 against level 35. This is the part of the game where I lost the will to live, drained that bottle of vodka and staggered back over to the local shop to buy a litre of Black Sambuca. This night isn't even done yet, and I've already had a whole bottle of vodka, a third of a bottle of Black Sambuca, and I've got the lemon bleach on the counter giving me the eyes. I do some drunken grinding, not the kind I'd like to be doing, but the kind that involves taking a wood-loving Bidoof up to level 66. That isn't an arbitrary number, we just couldn't win even at level 65. One level later, and we get lucky. Paralysed and on 36 HP, we finally overcome the Jasmine roadblock and can head off towards Blackthorn City. Oh, wait, what's that? No, we can't, because we have to rescue a radio station. Awesome. We do exactly that, saving the director and heading off to Blackthorn, finally. Claire is up next, and at level 70, we win. Yes, we had barely any HP, but a win's a win, right? Not to Claire. She's a little bitch who can't admit defeat and sends us into a cave to see an old man who asks us quite how badly we really want the badge while ominously unzipping his trousers. Luckily for us, he gets distracted by a sparkly-eyed and salivating woodlover next to us and freaks out, telling Claire to give us the badge. We escape with our innocence intact and head off in search of the Pokemon League. Unfortunately, it's impossible just to go and search for the end game because some nice ladies in dressing gowns tell us to go and meet them in a quaint little place. Turns out it's not for what I think it is, they just want to fight me and then drag me off to meet Lugia. I'm bored to death by now, so I go there and just use the Master Ball to catch it. From there we make our way through Victory Road and meet Sam at the end. His team is a lot better than it used to be. It's hard to think that this short, red-headed Welshman is the same guy who ambushed us at the start of the game. That is, until we start battling him and realise he's just as pathetically weak as he was back then. Game, set and match, the English win again. Although I'm sure Sam will actually end up having the last laugh because the Pokemon League is up next. On a little detour, little side note, there's a pretty fun little glitch you can do here. Just go to the desk, talk to the lady, choose the GS Cup and ask her for which Pokemon can enter. Back out, head up to the guy guarding the entrance, and instead of moving out the way, he just stands there. Useless, but pretty fun to play around with. A bit like me, according to every woman who's ever interacted with me. At level 81, we head into the Elite Four. We can't even beat Will, and every single one of his Pokemon is weak to at least one of our attacks. If we're lucky, we can beat his first two. So when we inevitably lose our mind, I decide enough is enough. It's max level time, baby. We come back after the mother of all grinds and head in again. Will is up first and we use Shadow Ball to sweep his entire team. Koga's second and Fortress is the only one that poses some form of an issue, but everything else goes down to a cheeky rollout. Bruno is third and we face some good resistance here. Ultimately though, the fight is easy enough, finishing on 49 HP. Up last for the four and requesting to speak to whoever's in charge, it's Karen. Unfortunately for her, she has already come to the guy in charge, and although she tries, bless her little cotton socks, but she falls. Falls harder than I did on that table tennis that I destroyed my knee on last year. Up last, Champion Lance. And where we had no issues with the four, we have many issues here. Many issues, many attempts, many punches thrown. I came so close on so many occasions here, sometimes down to the last Pokemon with a third power rollout lined up, only for it to miss or me not have enough HP to survive. It made my frustrations worse because I knew it was possible, and I may or may not have put a hole in the kitchen side in drunken rage. The good thing about taking multiple attempts is that it gives you good time to test for strategy, and during that time I've realised that rollout is effective beyond belief, but only really helps me take out Gyarados and 2 Dragonite. The last one will always start with Thunder Wave, followed by Dragon Rush, and that is essentially a death sentence. But I do have a moment of brilliance because in my bag is TM Blizzard. Now, the accuracy is low, but there are times where I can get through to that Dragonite with pretty decent health. If I can avoid Thunder Wave, then I think I can do this. It takes quite a few more resets, but I eventually get this run. I headbutt Gyarados first in order to get it to fall in 2 hits. Rollout gets to build up power, and like I said, the first 2 Dragonite fall after that. We get lucky and the first one uses Safeguard instead of a damaging move like Outrage, but I'll take what I can get. This is the moment of truth. The final Dragonite is out. Blizzard hits and it's a single hit KO. I really don't know what to do here, so I just use a Blizzard on the Charizard, which also hits. We start to power up Rollout and Charizard falls from there. Aerodactyl is up last, and I learnt that this thing's rock slide hits us like a tank, so we need to avoid it. Rollout hits hard, and we manage to survive an attack from him. He's in full restore range, and as long as rollout hits, we'll win. And wouldn't you know it, Aerodactyl falls, and the Johto Pokemon League crumbles before us. Our pathetic, tiny, wimpy Bidoof has successfully and officially earned his place in the Hall of Fame. Can we end the challenge here? I mean, the credits roll, don't they? So, I'm done? Please? Well, reality slaps me across the face and stings worse than that time I accidentally kicked a football into a wasp's nest. Ugh, here we go. Kanto awaits. Leaving the house, I instantly regret using the Master Ball on Lugia as we encounter Raikou. I'm really not in the mood for this guy running away on me and making me look like a fool, so I headbutt that jerk and it's good night Vienna. Nothing really happens until we land in Kanto. I know what needs to happen, so let's just get straight to work. Lieutenant Surge falls really easily, a clean sweep. Sabrina takes a couple of attempts, but we survive by the skin of our teeth. Literally. Misty was nice and easy by comparison, and the worst thing about Erica's gym was navigating my way to her. Janine wasn't that bad. I mean, sure it was shaky, but we pulled through. Next up on the hit list is Blaine, and this guy was painful. Overheat was a killer, and I was for sure thinking this challenge ended here. I was genuinely a few resets away from resorting to items, but luckily we manage an attempt where we get through. I'm sweating my bollocks off at this point because the Kanto gyms, well, Bidoof is struggling, and he's struggling hard. Brock's up next, and well, it doesn't get any easier. So many resets needed, so many shots of Sambuca, and all the time that Bleach is looking better and better. Pulling through this fight was one of the most relieving moments of the game. Until we get to Blue. Blue? Well, Blue can just do one, like properly do one. I did so much research before this fight. In-depth research on movesets, strategies and stats. I can outspeed everything as long as a trick room doesn't get set up. Everything apart from the Pidgeot. So in order to win, I need a lot of health to spare by the time we get there. Easy enough, right? Wrong again! This thing took me over an hour. I replaced Rollout with Thunder for this, and consistently managed to get to the Pidgeot with it. And that actually allows me to learn something really interesting. It outspeeds me and uses Return, and it always seems to follow that up with Mirror Move, every time. So I abuse this. My first turn against the Pidgeot and I use Shadow Ball, a move that doesn't affect either one of us. My suspicions were correct and he uses Mirror Move, allowing me to get off a Thunder that takes Blue out. Now, the only person standing between me and the completion of this bullshit challenge is Red. We ascend Mount Silver and stand face to face with him. Do you want to know something? I've said in previous failed challenges that certain fights are impossible, but with the help of things like full restores and other items, I've actually been able to complete the fight. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a truly impossible task. Not only can Pikachu one-shot us with Volt Tackle, but even if we survive, we take damage from the hail. It is possible to get through, but Blastoise is out next and it knows Blizzard too. And it outspeeds us. For those who don't know, Blizzard never misses in a hailstorm, just like Thunder never misses in the rain. But even if we spam full restores and drain Blizzard's PP, he knows Focus Blast, a move that always seems to one-shot me from full health, whether it's a critical or not. On top of that, I reset this about 25 times. I used save states for the first time in my challenges to see if it missed at all, and let me tell you this. In the 25 approximate resets, the move with 70 accuracy always hits. Every time. Something tells me I wouldn't survive a Hydro Pump or Flash Cannon either, but screw that. I'm declaring this fight impossible. Items or not, I can't even give you the satisfaction of seeing the game end. At this point I pretty much lost my mind and gave up completely, but still refused to leave the game on a cliffhanger. The challenge is over and I've tried everything in the book. X items, full restores, the lot. Nothing is getting me through that fight with this Bidoof. So, in for a penny, in for a pound. We take a detour into Cerulean Cave and catch Mewtwo. I hack in some rare candies and a couple of TMs to give our now level 100 Mewtwo a nasty moveset of Psychic, Aura Sphere, Thunderbolt and Earthquake. We pretty much ruin Red at this point, but the revenge is bittersweet because he's ruined our run. Badly. With the conclusion of this fight, the credits roll and the challenge is finally over. Well, at the start of this video I asked a simple question. Can you beat Pokemon Soul Silver with only a Bidoof? The answer? No, of course not. I mean, it's a miracle you can even beat the Johto region and even defeat the Kanto leaders. But you can't even see the game through to the end. The run ends at the final hurdle and it ends badly. As I said, X items, full restores and a medley of held items can't do anything to help me. Bidoof physically cannot do it, which is infuriatingly maddening. But hey, at least I suffered so you don't have to. Needless to say, I wouldn't recommend trying this, although if you do, let me know if you can beat Red. I bet you can't. Ugh, 2 challenges in a row and I've been tortured by both of them, so next time I've decided we'll do a slightly more fun one. And I believe I deserve it, but hey, by all means, slate me in the comments for that. Oh, and while you're down there, leave any suggestions for challenges you'd like to see me take on in the future before you leave. Feel free to like and subscribe as well for weekly challenges like these, and I invite you all to join me in the next one, where I'm asking, can you beat Pokemon Leaf Green with only a Bagon? Thank you all for watching, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.